gon' make movies. Cameras is rolling. Lights, camera, action. We gon' make movies. Cameras is rolling. Lights, camera, action. We gon' make movies. Cameras is rolling. Lights, camera, action. We gon' make movies. Dirty.
We back, man.
We are back.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. One episode down.
It was successful.
Yeah, really good, man.
Good feedback.
Yeah, a lot of great feedback.
Real talk.
Real talk, everybody. Yeah, for sure. That's the lingo. Make sure y'all get on that lingo.
Absolutely.
But I want to touch on something today, and you know how like creators always say like, it's hard to do business and be creative at the same time.
Yeah.
You know, that's like I'm just so creative. I don't got my business together, or they got their business together and they're not that creative.
They're two separate worlds.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But I feel like I found this synergy between both of them, right?
All right.
Completely what we do, right? Mm-hmm. So like, it becomes the professional creative.
Yeah.
The professional creative. That's someone is moving, you know, not too crazy on the business, not too crazy on the creativity, but they have the right little things in place to deal with the clients, from, you know, having contracts, invoices, and one of the major things is an LLC.
It's definitely LLC.
Yeah. You want to touch on the LLC?
Yeah. So I definitely feel anybody in the creative field or anybody moving as a sole proprietor, for those who don't know what a sole proprietor is basically when you have a service or any type of thing that you're providing for income, you're moving as a sole proprietor, you're conducting business, you know, providing something to somebody. The LLC, the importance of the LLC is to provide, for one, a separate entity, and to provide layers of protection as well as taxes.
Yes. The taxes is real cool because what people don't really know is like you can write off all your gear.
Write off everything. And I believe up to, a few years before you even start your LLC?
Yeah, for sure.
I can't remember how many years.
I think you can claim a loss and then be able to move, long as you're like not making more, I think around like 1,500 or something. Don't quote me on that all the way, but I feel like it's around that number.
Don't quote the numbers.
That's why I said don't quote me on that, but for sure.
Some of the general knowledge around LLCs is that layer of protection, so in case anything happens, slip and falls, client wants to sue or do some dumb shit, it won't be on John Doe, it'll be on his business. But with having a business, having an LLC, you want to make sure you have business insurance, liability, have at least $1 million of liability. Because when you're filming, you actually can't get permits unless you have liability.
And the permits is very important.
Very important.
Especially when you're like on the street, because you see a lot of videographers, you know what we do, we run and gun. Sometimes we trespassing, you know what I mean? You know, it's like to get that shot, but at the same time, it's good to have that permit just in case, you know, police pull up, fireman pull up, you might have pyrotechs, you know, it's always good to like, if you're looking to get in the permits, I would definitely look to your local film, you know, film office, yes, for sure,
And you might have to do some Googling, you might have to do some calling to figure out, you know, where the film office is, because when you're in different towns, some towns take filming very seriously, and some towns are more small town, don't take it so serious, but it's still there. So sometimes you have to do some calling around, you know, the office might be closed, so definitely call the local either fire department or police station, and they usually are really familiar with the process of that. But the LLC is definitely important. Like I know people are really artsy, really creative individuals and don't really want to get into the business side because it's complicated. You know, it's a foreign language in some sense. It's like, what is LLC? What is corporate structures? You know, you have to go through a lot of processes. Like you have to go start a whole business account with a bank. You have to go through. I know for us, we have to call our local state office to start your LLC process. So it can be, for one, a lengthy process. Time-wise, it can also be costly as well.
But you can also start with the EIN number.
Yes, you can.
The EIN number right there, you can actually start making moves with that, and you can actually put that on the W-9, you know, instead of having to put your Social Security on there. And that could at least be your first step, even if you don't get that LLC.
Yeah.
You know, I would just say if somebody's looking to level up with their business, start with the EIN number. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
You know, start with that first, and then then start doing a little bit more research on the LLC. Pick your name,
Yep.
you know, and just go from there.
Because I know a big thing in our business is people wanting to get their worth, right?
Yeah, for sure.
And what a lot of people don't know is when you don't have your sole proprietorship set up, your EIN, or your business set up, your LLC, it's kind of hard to justify that lack of compensation. Mm-hmm. So for instance, you know, say you want to charge $2,000, but the client only got $400. You can actually claim that as a loss.
Yes.
You can get that initial $400 from your client, mm-hmm. but then that $1,600 that you didn't get is as a loss on your taxes.
Yep.
And you get that back come tax time.
Yeah.
And, go ahead.
No, I was just agreeing with you. Yeah, for sure.
But I definitely feel like the LLC is.
It's everything.
It's everything.
It's everything.
It just solidifies you, makes you look more professional. Tells people you take your business serious. And just gives a new light.
Yeah, because when I started, I just started shooting. Wasn't even thinking about LLC. Mm-hmm. The fact that we're here in Delaware being the #1 spot for getting a corporation, mm-hmm. it's so easy to walk down the street and just, and then open up a business that mm-hmm. fast. So once I realized that, I was like, okay, let me get my LLC together. Let me start collecting my receipts. That means, my camera equipment receipts. Mm-hmm. That's my, my gas receipts, my food,
everything.
Just started grabbing all that stuff. And, with technology today, you have apps like, like Booksy, you have apps like QuickBooks that can help you, organize your business, apps like Monday.com, Waves, these apps will kind of assist you in your business and actually make things a little easy for you. So it's not like back in the day where you're just writing all these things down on a piece of paper.
For sure.
But,
I think one thing we should touch on is paperwork.
Oh yeah, paperwork is very, very, I mean, because, when starting out, you see a lot of people when you say, yo, here's a contract, your average street rapper, he's like, I ain't trying to sign no.
Fuck no.
He ain't trying to sign. He's like,
you get a lot of pushback.
You get a lot of pushback on that, and that makes people
necessary.
not want to step into doing contracts. But you got to look at it as a production agreement, mm-hmm.
just
to protect yourself and them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I feel like once you have that, then you can just focus on the creativity mm-hmm. part, and then you can have all your terms in there. Like, mm-hmm. One of the terms that I always suggest is, act of God. Mm-hmm. An act of God in the situation, that's like y'all was gonna shoot Thursday, but it rained, you know what I mean? And you can go to the client and say, hey, act of God, this situation, like we can't shoot because I don't wanna take my camera outside in the rain.
Yeah.
And then that client will understand, like, okay, hey, it was in the contract, I signed that agreement, we're gonna have to reschedule. Mm-hmm. It's just about having your terms together.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
You wanna shed on anything?
Yeah, like the contract can have whatever you want in it.
Yeah, for sure.
It's not only to protect you, but also sometimes to protect the client as well.
Yes.
Because later on you can have conflict and confrontation where things are forgotten. Mm-hmm. Finger pointing starts happening.
Yeah.
Oh, well, you said you were going to do this, and you're like, well, I don't remember saying that.
Yeah.
Or vice versa, they don't remember things that were discussed. And with that contract in place, it's like, nah, bro.
Yeah.
You see right there in black and white what we discussed, what we agreed upon, and it can save you from more workload because people will try to be like, oh, I want my bread back, bro. Like,
mm-hmm. You can have all that in there. You can say like, no refunds after deposit. You can lace it out the way that fits comfortable for you. When I wrote my first contract, it was like 7-day turnaround, it was these little terms that I was making sure that I lived by, everything is based off of time. So as a videographer or a photographer, you're basing everything off of time, right? So like, for me, it was like, okay, if I'm gonna shoot this video for $500, you're only gonna get 2 hours of my time, you know what I mean? And I'm only gonna do maybe 2 hours of editing, you know, so then that looks more like I only work 4 hours and I'm only gonna charge you, you know, $125 an hour, you know, breaking that down.
For sure.
That's a good pay compared to a lot of people who's not making $125 an hour, you know what I mean? Like,
absolutely.
You gotta break that down, you know what I'm saying? And look at everything is time. Time is everything in this. Because if you're doing overwork, then you're gonna need to be paid and compensated for that.
For sure.
You know what I mean? Re-edits. That's in your agreement, you know? Like, cause you're gonna run into that.
Everything's a process.
Yeah.
From sitting down with the client, having a consultation, being there on set, dumping the footage.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Organizing the footage.
Organizing the footage.
Then you start editing, turning in the first edit to the client.
Yeah.
Getting feedback, and maybe having to do the second edit, or if you nailed it the first time, cool. But like, time is money. Time is everything.
Time is everything.
All these processes take time.
And I want to add this so people know, like, even with the footage, right? Because that's something that people don't talk about. Who has ownership of the footage, the raw footage? You have ownership of the raw footage. You can charge the client, you know, because they're asking you for that 30-second edit.
Absolutely.
That's theirs. They paid for that. You have the footage. Now, if they want the raw footage, you can actually charge another price on top of what you charge them to actually sell them the footage.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? And you should also be charging for the hard drive too, because hard drives are not cheap.
It's another expense.
Another expense, you know, breaking that. One thing I want to say now that we kind of like got through the vibe of the pre-production area, you know what I mean, of working with the client. Now it's like, how can you be more professional on set, you know? For sure. You know, a lot of people, videographers, they get on set, they letting anybody on set, you know, they're this, it's just, the etiquette is crazy, the artist shows up late, you know what I mean? Like, that should be in your contract right there.
Absolutely.
Hold them to that.
Absolutely.
For real, you know what I'm saying? And then, you know, once you're on set, it's like, okay, you want to create boundaries on set. You know, perimeters that, so everybody knows, because nowadays with the most rap hip hop videos, rappers are coming on set with, you know, the weed, the guns, the girls, the cars, you know what I mean? There's a lot of things going on in this.
And, you know, we're empathetic because in our industry, it's about a vibe.
Yeah, for sure.
It's about an energy of creating a good atmosphere on set. And I think with a lot of people, yes, though we're talking about being professional, you gotta have a mixture of your professionalism and also not being too strict.
Real talk.
Not real talk. Not being too strict, because if you start having like an asshole energy on set and you fucking the vibe up, like, it's actually gonna slow down your production.
Oh yeah,
so you gotta have like a fine balance of catering to who your client is, but also being firm on what the rules are. Yeah. Because having unannounced people come in that weren't talked upon, like, that's a safety hazard. Yeah. We don't know these people. They haven't been screened. We don't know what they got on them. Yeah. We don't know who they're. That's why we say, yo, no recording, no phones out on set. Yeah. Because people, like, there's a lot of rappers who have got pulled up on by rival gang members. Yeah. By
sharing locations.
Saying, oh, yo, we out here shooting at such and such. Like, no, can't do none of that. Hiring security is sometimes very necessary. I mean, we've been in certain situations where
it's a lot of risk.
It's a lot, bro.
I mean, in the beginning, you're just happy to get the work. So somebody might call you like, yo, you know, we from Delaware. They're like, an artist from Philly might hit you like, yo, come meet me in my hood. You know, that's important. It's important to scout the location first. Yeah. At least Google map it, you know what I mean? So you know where you're going, because a lot of people just go meet this rapper and all his friends don't know none of these people, hop in the car, riding around with them all day. You don't know what kind of activity you about to get into. Facts. You don't know what kind of beef they got with people. Facts. So you just kind of just jumping in the gun. So you gotta really, that's where that professional creative gotta come into place. Because that's gonna go back to your contract and back to your terms. So this all goes hand in hand. So you can say like, bro, no, I'm not getting in your car. You know what I mean? We're gonna meet at these locations that I scouted, you know?
Yep.
If we're gonna be at this bando, I need to know that it's gonna be safe.
Facts.
You know, there was times that I actually had to hire security with me out on the block. You know what I mean? Like,
I've been there with you.
Oh yeah, you know, it was crazy.
Dude pull the strap out of nowhere, they arguing.
Yeah.
Like, things can go down
real fast.
in a blink of an eye.
Real fast.
Get real ugly fast.
Real fast.
And
like,
you gotta protect your crew, protect the people that are out there with you.
Yeah, it's your responsibility. Like, you know, me dragging our crew on the set, I know like, I'm accountable for everybody's life out here.
For sure.
You know, like, so I gotta make sure that I'm doing my job right with the pre-production and the contracts and agreements to make sure everybody gets home safe.
Yeah.
Everybody has to get home safe.
And with that contract, to circle back to the contract and paperwork, that responsibility you talk about can be 50-50 on both sides.
Yeah.
Where we discuss what we're responsible for as a production company.
Yeah.
And what the client is responsible for.
Yup. Yeah.
So.
Yeah. It's a lot. You know, there's a lot of things going on, a lot of moving things. You know, let's dig a little deeper on this set thing, because I was shedding on this gun stuff, because right now we have a real big, you know, the vibe is to like point guns at the camera. You know, I'm like cameraman, like, like, you know, ain't nobody checking it. Look at the Alec Baldwin situation. You know what I mean? Someone had to die.
Yeah.
And we're talking professionals.
Because they didn't hire. Well, no, I'm not going to say that because I don't know the full situation, but what I am going to say is make sure you're hiring the right people, make sure you're hiring the right prop masters.
Yeah.
Make sure you're checking everything, and you
can
gotta
still
have safety. Like,
yeah, you can still have the gun effect, but you can use props. We can go to the store and get some toy guns, spray paint them. You know what I'm saying? It don't have to be the real thing. I understand what you want.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, this is all entertainment.
Yeah. Exactly.
This is not real. You're pointing a gun at a camera like. That we're not here to like.
It's just for storytelling.
It's storytelling. You know what I'm saying? So why don't we take the further step to make sure everybody's safe?
Exactly.
You know, we seen what's the movie with the short film?
You Shoot.
You Shoot. Yeah. That.
What you talking about?
Yeah.
The boy, he was
Mosey.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was. It was a cool short film about a videographer who, you know, a day in the life. You know, he's trying to make it happen.
Yep.
And then he felt like he didn't want to shoot music videos no more. He wanted to get into the corporate stuff. And you know, a rapper hit him up, was like, "Yo, I got $2,000 for you."
Yeah,
he
the most money he's seen.
The biggest money he's seen. He's like, you know what? I really don't want to do it. He had that gut feeling. You know, sometimes you gotta listen to your intuition.
Absolutely.
Your intuition to tell you.
Yeah.
You listen to your stomach. It's not sometimes about here. The money of being here. That goes back to what we were saying, thinking about money first. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you got to create first. So if he would have listened to his gut, he would have never been in that situation. But you know, he got on set. The artist got the gun pointing at the camera, like, you know, on some crazy stuff, and. You know, they laughing at him, like, what you scared? You know, because, you know, everybody likes to take the cameraman as, you know, oh, what you scared for?
We look like the nerd out there.
We look like the nerd, facts. Yeah, real talk, you know? So, and once he start moving, hit and play, pow.
Yep. Game over.
Game over. You get what I'm saying? Like,
just not having the right perimeters in place.
Yeah.
You gotta always have safety first, always just make sure you got shit on lock. Because it's not a game. Like, no amount of money is worth anybody's life.
No.
And putting other people at harm. Like, it's just,
this is entertainment. This is entertainment.
I think we should touch on maybe some professional practices as far as the talent.
Okay. Yeah, for sure.
Models.
Oh yeah. Oh goodness.
Because you know. Not gonna lie, the models sometimes are attractive women or attractive males.
Yeah.
We understand how human nature works sometimes.
Yeah.
And you know what to do when
in that situation.
Yeah, certain shit happens.
Yeah. I mean, the listen, we're not there to holler at the chicks.
No.
You know what I'm saying? Let's keep it a beat. You shouldn't be there. If you dare to do that, asking, yo, what's, you know. Nah, that's not what it is. Because sometimes you get people on set, you're filming, you turn around, you see all these other people who there supporting, they cameras all out on the girl, like, yo, bro, yo, look at her ass, look at all this, you know what I mean? Like, yo, that's distracting and it's disrespectful too, because now you taking her out of her focus, you know what I mean? No, that part has to cut out. And that's why it's very important to say no cameras on set, you know, no doing that to the female. But then there's also situations like, we were on smoking, you know what I mean? Yeah. Rappers are gonna smoke, we understand it, you know, but if we have a dialogue and talk about, okay, you wanna have a scene where you smoking, cool, we know that, that's what it's about. But if I'm in this room and everybody's blowing, I can't figure things out, you know what I'm saying? What if I don't smoke and now I'm getting all head spinning and all weird, you know what I'm saying? Now I'm messing up the person's creativity.
Or better yet, when you hire, or not hire, but you run out of place. Yeah. And you know, the owner of that place is trusting you to have the most respect for his establishment.
A lot of Airbnbs.
A lot of Airbnbs. Yep. I know it happened on one set that we were on and ended up being a couple $100, maybe $1,000 a cleaning fee.
Yeah, cleaning fee.
Because people wanted to blow and not listen. So an important thing to do is have signs up saying no smoking. Have signs up saying, hey, even for like the prop guns, hey, yo, we're using fake guns. So that way you're making people aware of the atmosphere and the elements that are
boundaries. Yeah. I mean, you can have a designated area for smoking if you want to smoke. Just say, hey, this is the designated area. But that also goes back in as you as a director having that, hey, I need everybody to come here together. You get what I'm saying? I need to address some of these rules, you know, having a team meeting with the cast, the crew, everybody who's on set, and this laying down the laws right there.
For sure.
Before you hit record. And if you feel that people are not listening to you, then you have the power to walk off set. You put that in your contract, you know what I mean? And leave, because like you said, it could cost you, you know what I mean? And even down to like, back to the models, right? I'm gonna switch it a little bit from videography to photography, you know what I mean?
All right.
Because we you know, we take photos too, you know what I'm saying? We understand the game. You know, one reason why I've never really shot females because I never want to come across as the creepy photographer.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know,
they exist.
What?
They exist.
Oh man, it's bad out there right now.
Yeah.
The creepy photographer, the creepy videographer, whatever, the director. You know, like, yo, you hitting the girl in the DM like, yo, I want you to be on my video set. You really want to get her number. Fact. You really just want to holler. You don't really care for her to actually be on set.
Because the intention and focus is in the wrong place.
For sure.
And let's be honest, women bring clout.
Yup.
Women do numbers. Like when club promoters are trying to get the club popping, first thing would they reach out to? Get the females in there. If the females in there, dudes are gonna come. Yeah. So same thing that these photographers be doing and videographers be doing. And I'm not saying nothing is wrong with doing business with the female model. Yeah. Like they play a very pivotal role in modeling and fashion. Like, we know the nature of the situation.
Yeah, but you have to be professional.
Yeah, you got to be professional. You got to make sure you're clear within your intentions of why you're involving that actor, that actress. Yeah. Because, I mean, it works on both sides. It's not just men being weird. Sometimes women.
Shoot. Yeah. There's girls who are trying to get on set, trying to get close to the rappers, trying to get close to the directors. You know, we're in a very, you know, plastic world, as I say, you know what I mean? The Instagram and the OnlyFans and, you know, the filters. Everybody's got, the BBLs, you know what I'm saying? The lips, everybody's turning up for the gram, you know what I mean? Real talk, they really are, you know? They definitely turning up, so.
I mean, I know some females that is trying to holler at the videographer, photographer for free photos.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, and that's what I'm saying, work is bad intentions on both sides. Yeah, yep. And don't bring that energy into the industry. Yeah, nah. Don't bring it anywhere, because like, I know you want to be lit, you want to be successful, you want to be popping, but that's the fastest way to end your career is by having the wrong intentions within what you're doing.
Yeah, that goes back to being focused and doing the deep work.
Fact.
When you're locked in on the deep work, you're tunnel vision. You're not trying to be on set multitasking. You're focused on the job. You're focused on delivering what the client asked you to deliver. You know, not there for the ladies and all the other things, you know, the antics and stuff like that. You know, one time we were on set, you know, and I ain't gonna say the artist, you know, the female artist, you know, she's doing her moves and her whole strap just dropped down, you know what I mean? So what I
don't think I was there for that one.
No, you wasn't there for that one. But the whole strap dropped down, but it's like, but the good thing is, you know, me being who I was, I taught you, our whole team, like respect level of what to do in them situations is, one, look down. Somebody says, you know, wardrobe malfunction. You know what I mean? Like, people turn around, you know, give her that space.
Absolutely.
It's not the time to pull out the camera like and make her feel bad about, oh, she's gotta, you know what I mean? This is a Janet Jackson moment. No, this ain't the Super Bowl. You know what I mean? Like, no, this is a time where you have to be super professional and make sure everybody knows, like, listen, we're not gonna disrespect her like that. You get her situated, fixed, reset the camera, do what you gotta do, and roll it again and move on from it. You don't need to make a big deal about it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
bro.
It's also how you do things on set, how you treat your crew members on set. If there's a problem on set with your crew member and he's not doing something right, you don't need to scream at him in front of everybody.
Communication is everything. It's how you deliver things.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, sometimes we can be very goal-driven and not be mindful of how we're going to get to that goal.
Yeah.
And sometimes using that brute force and trying to demand somebody to do something, like, that's not always going to register the right way with everybody.
No, you don't need to have an ego power trip for no reason.
No.
Like, if I'm screaming at you on set because you knocked over a light, you're gonna be sitting there all mad the whole time.
Yeah, like, why he talking like that?
Why he talking to me? And then now we're not getting anything done.
It's gonna slow up the process. It's gonna make people not wanna work.
Yep.
And then the quality is gonna drop. And it's gonna feel like people are trying to rush this process and just get it over and done with because they don't want to be there no more.
Like you said earlier,
fucked up.
Like you said earlier, it's really how you set that tone as a director, making sure people feel comfortable, and then having a vibe. Because one thing about our vibe, Jet Phynx Films, we have the experience. We want to give you the experience. We want to have crafty with the popcorn. We want to have the playback monitor screens. We want you to feel like when you stepped on set, you're a superstar and you can see yourself and everything is going smooth and you can just be an artist. For sure. Not where you gotta sit there and then, cause I see a lot of kids, there's a big difference in shooting videos and directing videos. So you get a lot of young directors who don't know how to just like, okay, what should I do next? No, that goes down to your shot list. That's being professional.
Facts.
Actually, maybe storyboarding the scenes. Preparation, that pre-production.
One thing I also want to touch on is hygiene.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you don't want to be that guy that someone has to go to and be like, yo, you know what I mean? You stink a little bit.
Stink a little bit, yeah, you got the dragon, baby.
Come over here, I got this spray for you.
Yeah, right.
I mean, it's just gonna make you feel uncomfortable, so make sure, like, not only are you keeping yourself clean, but make sure you're keeping your gear clean.
Oh yeah, gear.
Because in my field with sound, I'm having to be up on people, put mics on people, and if people looking at my gear like, ew, that look grody, that look nasty. Like, make sure your gear clean. Like, just, you know what I mean?
Prepping.
Create a great experience for whoever you're coming and doing business with.
Yeah.
Because, like,
them small details.
Small details matter.
Small details. Even like, we step on set,
we clean this place every day.
Every day.
Repainting the
psych wall, everything.
Making sure it's smell good in here, lighting the candles, like.
Come in with gear too. That, like, not just, it's cool to step on set looking flashy, but I feel like sometimes it's you want to have your professional business look too, and have your thing with your logo on it, your brand on it, so people recognize you. Even that also help for, like, when police drive by. I know how many times, like, I didn't have a permit for what I was filming on, but they seen us all dressed out there with the Jet Phynx Films crew gear on. They was like, oh, that's just Jet and them filming. Boom, they keep it moving.
Creating awareness.
Yeah, but now if we all were out there just all looking like we was just chilling on the block.
Yeah.
Rapper with his weed and this girls, it just looks like, hey, I need to shut this thing down. This doesn't look professional out here.
Yep.
Because there is a look, you know
Absolutely.
what I mean? There is a certain look to being professional.
It's how you move.
Yeah.
It's like you said, setting the tone not only on set, but within the community.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
And when people get more aware of who you are, get more aware of your brand, the social stigma around you will be more conscious and aware. Like you were saying with the police driving by, like sometimes we might not even necessarily have a permit, but they know that we professional people and we making sure the right things.
Yeah. And always be humble, right? Thank everybody on set. You know what I mean? Thank the people that came out and helped you. Never act like, oh, I did this by myself.
Facts.
You know, like I'm the shit, ego driven, you know what I mean? Thank people, thank the talent, you know, anybody, if you got somebody there coming, helping you, playing playback, thank everybody. Just show that appreciation, you know, clap it up, that person on set. These are the type of things that you need to learn from the top level of filmmaking. This is the same thing they do. When an actor is done on set, and they're done for the day, they was like, clap it up for them, and you know what I mean? And like, make that person feel great, because then they leave, and they're like, yo, I had a great time. They'll repost things. They'll be more excited about working with you. If you like, yo, all right, we done. Yo, you got my bread, bro?
We should actually talk about that.
You know what I mean?
The bread and payment.
Oh yeah. You want to talk? We can go in it. Where you want to start? Because there's so many different places we can start with that.
I think that goes back to paperwork.
Yeah, it does.
But maybe even if that isn't in play, like how you feel about net 30s? Think that's too much?
I think that's we would almost need a whole episode to explain that.
All right.
You know what I mean?
Talk on that another time.
Yeah. But that is something that I think people, if they want to get into it, they can Google it, you know, and understand that world.
Look up what net 30 is, net 15.
Yeah, for sure.
All that.
Your W-9s, you know, just.
Because I think that's also part of being professional.
Oh yeah, that's totally, that's part of the process.
Having your tax preparation and all that.
You know, I think it's cool. All right, let's like on the money exchange thing, right? I get it. You know, most people that are urban videographers dealing with the urban rapper who's coming with straight cash. You know what I mean? Like, here's cash, and cool, get the cash, whatever. But also goes back to my biggest thing is for me, I need. Well, when I first started, I wanted the deposit, half of the deposit up front. So I wanted to make sure I had my money first. If I didn't have my money, I wasn't stepping on set.
Yeah.
Now I want the whole thing before I even get on set.
Facts.
If anything,
it's 80%.
It's 80%, at least 80% of the money. And then at the end of we're done filming, I want the remaining of the bread. I'm not giving you the rest of the bread after I'm done editing. Because you could disappear.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I've had that situation where I let an artist, you know, say, oh, he was gonna pay me when I was done editing. He went to jail. I was done finishing the video. Now, I ain't getting paid.
Yeah, I mean, it's just they're locking in our time.
Yeah.
You know, that deposit is to lock in that day, that time slot, lock in my time to get the product done, which is the editing process.
Yeah.
And I need to get paid in advance for that because anything could happen. You could go to jail or, you know.
Anything. Someone
could die, like, and we still got businesses and shit to run. Like.
Yeah. I mean, just understanding the form of who you are in this business, that goes to like day rates. So let me touch on this, like.
And the reason I brought this up, sorry.
Go ahead. Go ahead, go for it.
Because we've been in those situations where our crew members are antsy, or not necessarily our crew members, but crew members in general are antsy because they're like, yo, when am I getting my bread? Like, that hasn't really been fully discussed.
Yeah,
so
you get crew memos.
Yeah.
You know, give your crew memos out, let the crew know, like, okay, this is a net 40, this is a net, you know what I mean? We're not getting paid on these nets, and net meaning like corporations, they only pay out at certain times. So this might not be a net if it's a street video, like we're getting bread tonight, hey, everybody's getting paid tonight. But that goes, like I said, that goes back to knowing who you are and how you're operating your business. So there's these categories, right? And this might help a lot of people understand with these categories, right? From 0 to 500, that's solo. That means you out there by yourself, You know, you filming, that's more like the videographer, young videographer. So you're gonna take jobs from that sometimes need to be from free to $100 all the way around to around to 500.
Yeah.
Next category you got is Indy. Indy is now when you got 3 or 4 people as crew members, you know, you got a couple people on set. That could be anywhere from a price range between, I would say, you know, like $750 all the way to maybe somewhere around like $2,500. You know what I mean? That now you got more people because you got to pay your crew members their day rates.
For sure.
Then you got Major. Major can run anywhere from like, I would say roughly from like 5,000 to anywhere from like 15, somewhere around that, maybe even 20, something like that. That's now Major, you probably got no minimum of like 10 people on your film crew. You gotta have, you know, you got the real lights, you got an Ari, you know what I mean? We're not talking like videographer no more. We're talking, we're talking big
pull focus.
Pull focus,
like,
AC. We're talking art direction, you know, and then high end. We got is the last category. High ends anywhere could be range from like, I don't know, we can just go from 50 to infinity from there. You know, we're talking Marvel money. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? You got like 100 people on set. You know, we're taking 3, 4, 7 months, even years to make this production and make this visual happen. You know, I just want people to understand the range. But here's the thing: even though like me, both of us, we're on that cuff between, you know, major and high end, right? And we still do jobs in the indie, and we still do jobs in the solo. You know what I mean? Sometimes if we really, really, really like the artist and really have a relationship and the loyalty's there,
facts.
You know, big on loyalty.
Yeah,
real talk on loyalty. Loyalty is a big thing. We can hold another whole conversation on loyalty. If the loyalty's there, then we can jump in and actually help them out and do something close to like a free thing. You know, just a little bit of cash for our time. You know, some gas money.
Building that relationship.
And help them, you know, get to that next level. But I think it's very important for us to know these rates, because like a DP, right? Matter of fact, a DP, me shooting somebody do not know what a DP is. That's a director of photography. That is the guy who's in control of the camera, the atmosphere, and the lights. You're not the director. You're just there to make sure it's all looking good for the director. I report back to the director, say everything's right. The director is mostly there to control the talent and the overall of the project. Now, I would like for you to touch on maybe rates for, you know, sound, you know, as a sound operator.
Can range from anywhere, depending on what type of gear you got, how much experience you got, what your portfolio look like. 25 an hour, 50 an hour, 100 an hour. Sometimes it's no less than, what would they say? 10% of your total setup. So people who have like those real big carts that are worth like, you know, fucking $50,000 setups, like charging $4K a day, sometimes $15K a day, like it depends on a lot of different variables.
But it's good to know these rates, because that's really where you're gonna move on to the next level.
But I would say for like, sorry not to cut you off.
No, you're good.
I would say for like boom operators, sound operators, you're probably like what I do, anywhere between $300 a day to maybe like $1,500 a day.
But let's clarify that. That's not you scoring nothing.
That's just me
just capturing
bringing my gear, providing all the microphones that I got, recording it, dumping the footage, providing you it. That's no mixing, that's no mastering. That's just me coming, recording, and done.
And that's the same for DP. I just come in, I shoot. Here's the hard drive. Here you go. Take that. You got the footage. I'm on to the next job. You know, that's where we want to kind of educate people as far as videographers to know that, like, once you get out of the videographer, I mean, you get to that end of that level, you got to start thinking about these other choices. Because at the next level, you're not doing all these jobs.
No.
You got to pick one of the lanes. There's 100 lanes in filmmaking, 100 lanes in filmmaking.
Because the departments just have a bunch of, you got your department head, and
Yeah.
you got somebody under them that's kind of like assisting them, but still overlooking everybody, and then it just continues to trickle down, and you're just playing your one lane, your one role.
I mean, even PAs get paid.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that is a very important job on set. Having good PAs on set. You know, I would say when you're starting out as a videographer, get yourself some PAs, interns, just put them post out there and say, look, I'm looking for somebody that wants to intern, be a PA, help me out, do sound, whatever they can do to help.
More hands, the better sometimes.
For sure. You definitely need more hands on set. Like, it's definitely a struggle to do a whole project by yourself. And the power of collaboration is always good.
Facts.
To have a second person there to like look over your shoulder.
2 minds are better than one.
Oh, for sure. Like that's how we work. Like I'll get a frame right. I'm with this shot. I'm like, yo, Oz, check this out. You like this? And then boom, boom. I'm setting up the frame. You might say, yo, did you see that little thing in the corner? Because I'm not seeing the whole frame yet. And you point, oh yeah, thanks, Oz. You know what I mean? Like, and we get the frame right.
Yep.
Sometimes out there, if you're out there by yourself, you're not gonna get that. You might miss a lint on the shirt. You know what I mean? The hair might not be right.
You only put your mind on one priority at a time.
Yeah, for sure.
When you're setting up that frame, you're trying to get the right composition right. I'm looking at the other things that are being missed.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I know what you're saying, but.
Yeah, so I would say this. Being a creative, you can still be professional.
Yes.
You know what I mean? It's a very big deal. I would just say, take it easy. Don't overwhelm yourself.
Nope.
Learn. Everything we said a lot today.
Yeah, we did. Today
we said a lot.
Very in-depth conversation.
Yeah, very. We said a lot, but take it easy. But the main thing that we want you to focus on, we want them to focus on is, like contract and your time.
Safety as well.
Safety,
Yep.
So just think about these things that we're saying and, take what you like and run with it.
That's real talk.
And that's Real Talk. Hey guys, we want to thank you for watching another episode of Real Talk. Make sure you subscribe and hit that like button.
Every Wednesday, 7 o'clock, dropping Real Talk podcast. Every Thursday on Twitter. We're hosting Twitter Spaces for Real Talk at 7 o'clock. Make sure you follow Jet, you follow me, and you can find this podcast on all your favorite podcast platforms, and that's Real Talk.
Yeah, it's Real Talk. Oh, and this is powered by 30 Popcorn.
30.